Hey everybody, we are live. Hi, this is Dr. Gail, there's Susie and Mary. Susie's going to be feeding us the questions here today. Hi everybody, glad to join us. And of course, Mary's always wonderful being here too. So we're so glad to have her. And we have got your questions, and Susie will be leading the questions for us, and Mary and I will be trying to do the best we can with the answers. So anyway, we got 4 that came in the chat. So we'll start off with those first, and then we will go into the live. So I'm so glad to see you. Let's see, we got Marlene here, Lauren here, Sunny Intuition, Sharon Sight, Chris and Kay. Hi, everybody. So glad that y'all are joining us. And we're going to go ahead and get started, try to get as much as we can in this hour to get done. So Susie, you want to lead on with our first question? And Susie has put down her pizza to join us.
Chicken Alfredo pizza.
It was a big sacrifice. Chicken Alfredo.
Hey Gina, hi Carrie, hi Linda. How glad y'all got. Oh, Mary Ellen Jenkinson, Spirit Watcher Suzanne, Gina. Hey, thank y'all for joining us. And we're going to go ahead and try to get started. Try to get as many questions done as we can. So Susie, then we're starting off the ones that came into the community box. So we're starting off with those questions first, and then y'all can start asking y'all's. But wait till we get through these first 4. Hey Starfish, so we can go ahead and get started. So Susie, first question.
Okay, it's from Butterfly Kisses Healing. I would love to know more about my role with the ETs and if I have any hidden blockages or attachments holding me from my fullest potential. I feel clear from my perspective. Thank you.
Do you want to go first, Mary? Or you want me to go first?
I was sensing, I feel like we might have been sensing kind of the same thing. So I think we were looking at, I was sensing some sort of blockage. You know, I can attest to that part, and it's not necessarily within the main chakras, but Gail perceived it as a tear or a small leak, and I just kind of perceived it as darkened energy, that somewhere actually in the auric field, within the layers of the auric field, rather than within the chakra system itself. And I'm picking up that this is on a physiological level, which just is how your body functions. So how the aura functions on its own, just naturally, there might just be a small leak there having to do with that. And I believe that that is somewhere near the sacral or root space. So individual work and understanding your individual experiences within what's affected in those spaces, such as family or past traumas and relationships, things like that, could probably bring us into an understanding of why that's there. But for me, it almost seems like we've done a lot of healing work with the chakra system itself. Like we've really worked on a lot of those spaces. So there's just some little things that are trying to repair themselves within the auric field, because it starts from the inside and moves out. Yeah. And you might have a different answer on the other part of that question.
Yeah, well, the first thing I saw, which is unusual for me to see, is that your chakras look really good. But then I went out to the auric field and I saw that there was a hole or a tear or something in that needed to have some work on. So what I'm suggesting for you, Butterfly Kisses, is to work on your auric fields. If you're doing some great work. And the other part of the question, wasn't there another part of the question too about her role or her duties or something about that? Susie. Hey, Grown Song. Hey, how are y'all doing? Sharon Sipe. Hey, I see Starfish here also. Zeta. Hi, Zeta. How are y'all doing? So,
does she have any blockages or attachments holding her from her fullest potential?
Okay. I was thinking there was another part of her question about what she was doing.
Well, she would like to know more about her role with the ETs.
Okay. Well, as I had said before on another, is that you are working with me. I don't know fully what you're doing. I know you're representing me, and you're in the close, tight-knit group. And I don't know, because I know now that I have so many people that are working for me. And so you are one of those ones in the close circle. And I haven't identified everybody's job yet, but there's a lot of you in the chat that are part of this group. So, or working on the spaceship with us. And but anyway, hopefully I'll get more information about that later. Butterfly Kisses, or you might actually find out what you're doing. Okay, next, hey Dina, how are you doing? Hey Tina. So next question.
Hi, Tina.
Is Tina the one that had problems in the chat last time?
Yeah, she accidentally got blocked, so we can give her a big hi and welcome back, right?
Welcome back. I'm so sorry you got blocked. Hey, Chris MK. So, yeah. So the next question.
Okay, from Patricia Sullivan. Hi, Dr. Gail. I apologize for asking a personal question. My car was stolen in the very early morning of August 14th. Are you able to see if it will be found? I've taken all the appropriate steps, police report, and notifying insurance. Did you want me to go through all the details?
No, that's okay, because I accidentally answered that question because I thought there was a little urgency to it, and I didn't bring it on to Mary. So Mary would say, and I don't do that kind of work, but that was the first attempt that I had trying to locate it, and I did see a tall man with brown hair getting out of a car that he left at the Burger King on Highway 5 down in southern Oregon. And so that's what I saw, but I also referred her to Jen at Jen's World. If any of y'all in the chat can put that up, Jen's, I should have gotten that, but her YouTube information that she can be directed to go connect with Jen, because Jen does do that. She does a good job at trying to find things. And I did refer her and an email to her about that. So I hope that helps. Mary?
I feel like there's a possibility it could be found anyway, right, but I'm sensing that it doesn't need to be found, because anytime I'm tapping into this, especially listening to you talk about where it was and things like that, I keep hearing it's a blessing. It's a blessing. So anytime that something's taken from our lives, it's essentially just making space for something else to come in. It's really our mindset that allows us to sit and suffer about it. So I keep feeling like that was removed for a reason. There's things here that we need to look at. There's other things at play. There's greater things that can be coming. And if we have insurance and they're helping out anyway, it might actually be a source of abundance that left, so that we have something else to come in and take its place that will work better for us.
Well, yeah, me hitting the deer and totaling my car on the way out here to California. The deer in my car did not make it. All right. I see a few more people. Hey, Seascape, AST. Hi, Damaris. How are you doing? Look at Damaris. She also has a new YouTube channel. And if anybody in there can put her stuff in, I'd appreciate it. Her YouTube information. That would be great. Sharon, you're so good at doing that. You're so good at putting all that in. So I appreciate every one of you. Appreciate my subscribers, my new subscribers. And I just recently found out that a lot of y'all are working with me on the spaceship. So welcome.
I think I met a lot of them in my vision the other day. So
yes, you did. Yes. And hey, Gina, do you want to talk about that vision, or do you want to?
I definitely can. It was so out there. I feel like I'm still kind of processing it. I feel like you're still processing it.
I'm still processing it too. It's kind of freaked me out.
But I actually went into my.
And this is how I'm doing. Are you? Are you the one? Are you the one?
But I actually went into my journey work the other morning. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, just for my clients for that day. And I ended up being approached by somebody who I recognized to work with us on the spaceship. Mm-hmm. And I recognized them through their uniform. It was blue and black, which is how I perceive our uniforms, mm-hmm. or at least the medic uniforms, or the people who work in the healer realm.
Right.
And I kept seeing Gail there. Like, I knew that she was there, but whoever was talking to me was very androgynous. Like, it was maybe a she, but maybe a he, but it didn't matter. And I couldn't really see the facial features. And they were showing me what I assume is Mount Shasta. They were showing me the mountain and telling me that pretty soon all of the secrets of the mountain would be unlocked. And I saw all of these people who work on the starship standing side by side, pressing forward like they were marching. But I was told it wasn't a war. It's not a war. we're just marching forward, and all of these secrets are going to be unlocked. And there's a whole lot more to it. Do we want to talk about the retreat that we're trying to get together?
Yeah, I think so. I think you should let people know what you're trying to do.
So I've been guided into a vision, and it's been a couple years now, where we're going to be building some sort of spiritual wellness center or retreat. And so we've slowly been taking steps towards this. I've been opening myself up to it, getting the visions slowly for it. And we've got a couple things in play. We've got bylaws going and different statuses going. And part of this vision with the spaceship people was that this alien being came to me and said, after it showed me that we're going to unlock the secrets of the mountain, it said that I'm actually going to be one of the safe space holders for these people who work on the spaceship or for aliens. And their exact words were, there will be centers, like base centers, from coast to coast and around the world. And when they said that, me and Gail found it very interesting that they moved her out to the West Coast, but I'm over on the East Coast. So we've got the coast covered.
Right.
And there's going to be more base centers set up around the world. So they required my consent to have this safe space for people to come, because there's going to be certain aliens or people who work on the spaceship or starseed beings who are going to be guided to this retreat, and I'm supposed to take them in, give them safe haven, care for them for a while, because they're more important than they know. And so there's like a lot of different elements here. I know this is the first time I'm introducing the retreat online or anywhere really that's not private. So this is brand new breaking information, but the vision itself was pretty big as well, as far as the secrets that are going to be unlocked and the people who are going to be stepping forward, and the vast amount of people working on the spaceship that are going to have to be working in tandem to make this happen.
Right. And that we create, and we're also creating safe places for them. Mm-hmm. That's what I started looking. Oh, do you need help? Do you need help? We're supposed to house them, feed them, take care of them. So yeah. I'm looking at everybody like, how am I going to know? How am I going to know? And Mary's doing the same thing. How do you know? How do you know who they are? But apparently we will.
Well, they told me like how they would. They're so esoteric sometimes. Like they told me I would know who they were, because the people who would come to me that I was supposed to offer safe space to would be glowing with blue and gold, and not to waste my energy on the ones glowing gray. I was like, okay, thanks. I'll figure that one out.
And that's what worried both of us. How are we going to know? Because I'm not one that would, is it somebody going to be walking up and they look blue and gold? No, we're trying to figure that out, how that's going to happen. But
the thing I've noticed with spirit in the spirit realm is that sometimes it can be a feeling that makes you feel blue and gold, or sometimes it could be something small, like them wearing something that's blue and with like a gold something, and then sometimes it literally be their aura.
That's the vision I got, is that they'll be wearing blue and gold. In fact, I saw them wearing gold shoes, gold little flippers is what I saw.
Like Munchkin Land.
Yeah, exactly, like little slippers or something. Yeah, so that's what they showed me, is that they will be wearing something that we recognize. But I don't know. I think it's because I was so concerned. Since this happened, this was yesterday morning, I've been concerned all the way, going, how am I going to recognize them? And then they showed me that vision, almost like they had a blue and gold jersey on with these little gold slipper shoes.
And it's funny because when I left a voice message for Gail to tell her about this vision as soon as I came out of it, so I didn't forget it, because I tend to forget all of my visions, and then like you bringing them up on here, and I'm like, oh, I don't remember telling you that. But and she didn't even recognize my voice.
I didn't.
She texted back like I was some random person she didn't know.
I texted her back, who is this?
Like, it's Mary, duh. Like, am I not programmed in your phone, Gail?
I am, but it was like I thought you were sending me a client. That's what it was. And I go, who is this? Who is this? I need to talk to this person. And it was you. Well, it's me. So, all right, we got a little off track. But yeah, Mary, do you even have a name for it yet?
Yes, the retreat is going to be called Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center.
Earth and Star. That's good. That's a good name. So, yeah. So, well, I'll be looking forward to that very soon. Well, not very soon, but fairly soon.
let's get it off the ground and going. I've been downloading the text for it for the past while, for the past year probably. You know, there's going to be a sacred text and spiritual practice and things like that go that are being offered for people, so that I can teach something that's completely unique and different to what I'm teaching now. What I'm teaching now is the medicine wheel and advanced shamanism, and I plan to continue teaching that because it's so life-changing and foundational for spiritual practices. But at the same time, I'm being guided into something that's completely unique in my own and not based in any other culture. Or, you know, it's of course, that me being a human, I'm influenced by everything I've ever experienced, but it's not something that I've gotten from any other text. It's just something that's coming straight to me that I'm putting down on paper. So that will be released hopefully before or around the same time that the retreat comes to fruition.
Okay.
When is that going to be?
And this is for entertainment purposes only, everybody.
You tell me.
Hey, I don't know.
I think this information.
Wait a minute here.
Yeah. This information is coming out because we're supposed to share it, because I think a lot of you will be posting a lot of safe places also that's in here. So anyway, so we got a little off track, but I think that was important to cover. So Susie, what's the next question?
Will the ETs step in to help with the recent water cuts in Arizona?
Okay, Mary.
My sense of that is that when I connect into everything to feel the answer of that, I don't want to say it's laughter, but it's irony almost, because I'm sensing that, yeah, the ETs could solve any particular thing that they wanted to solve, but did they make this mess? No. Why should they have to step in and clean it up? Take responsibility for what you did and for what you use and for what you give back to the planet and for what's happening. You know, that's kind of what I'm sensing, is that there's something here that's happening that we're having to look at and break through and to adjust within ourselves. And once we do our own spiritual growth and our own work, then things will begin to shift collectively and within our communities. So that's what I get when I tap into that.
Right. Yeah, it's the same thing I got. You did it a little more elegantly than I was thinking. I got
said, F you, man.
It was basically like, this is your wake-up call. Hello. You know, you're not going to do anything unless this happens. So, no, we're not going to step in. You've got to learn a lesson. So, I know, it's a little harsh, but that's what I got. So, Mary was a lot better at delivering that message than I was. So, okay. All right, Susie, what's next?
Why is it that some who work on the spaceships and have no recollection, shouldn't those who believe in galactic beings be made aware of their efforts and remember what it is they do? Why the secrecy?
I'll take this one first, Mary. Who was that?
I've got a helicopter flying over.
Okay, who was that, Susie?
That was Marlene all day. AUDET.
Okay. Well, Marlene, the reason why some people know and some people don't, some people's lives are so busy that you don't stop and are able to recognize what's going on. Now, if your brain is working on, I've got to work, I've got children, I got a house, I got all this stuff, your brain is never relaxing to receive that information. You're not hiding it from you. It's just that there's point in times in your life that you can receive information. And a lot of times you see that a lot of us are older and that we have retired or things have slowed down in our life. And so then here comes all the information. And of course, I was one of them. And I just do think it just depends on where you're in life. And you're also going to get a little bit of the time, but they're not hiding it from you. It's just the right time, right place, basically, when you're able to get that knowledge. Mary?
I kind of picked up something around the ego as well, because so many of us have such big, all of us, we have big, powerful, strong spirits and energies that are capable of doing so many things, but our minds don't know it. And so if our minds did know that we were stepping onto this spaceship to collectively change the planet, how many of us would be like, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. And they start throwing their ego into it. trying to control situations, getting upset about political things happening, and trying to maybe go bomb somebody. I can't say that. Like things like that. It's like putting your ego into spaces where it doesn't belong, or even just being fearful of things when your spirit knows that you're capable of so much more, which is why we do so much in the astral realms while we sleep, whether it's dreaming or astral projecting or working on the spaceship. A lot of it happens subconsciously when our energy field and when our true self can step forward and show its power, and our ego is asleep, and we don't have to be the one making those decisions.
Right. I do think you're extremely right. And I do think fear is a big part of it, because if some people see that they're working on a spaceship, oh man, who am I going to talk to? I can't share this with my husband or my sister or whatever. And so you kind of suppress it. So yeah, I think that's a lot of it.
And that's like an ancient question also is, well, why don't angels come to me or miracles happen to me the way that they used to in biblical days? And it's because we can't perceive things that way anymore. We think it's not logical. We think we're crazy. If we talk to someone who we perceive is there, we think we must be schizophrenic, and we go to check ourselves into a hospital. We can't allow ourselves to perceive things the way that they used to back in those days. So it's also about the breaking of the psyche and protecting our own psyche.
Right. Yeah, because for the first 6 months, I thought I had a brain tumor.
What if you went and got yourself scanned tomorrow and you did this whole time?
Well, that's how that's probably how I accepted it. Because every day I was going into you and Meg and going, I know I have a brain tumor. I need an MRI. And finally I went, okay, if I have a brain tumor, this is the way I want to go. Just bring on the brain tumor.
That's right. That's right.
So, all right. So that finishes our questions that came into the community box. So, Susie, let's take it from the chat box.
Okay. Have you heard about Stephen Greer's ET contacts?
Can you highlight that for us so we can see it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. She's just gotten off of work, and we took her away from her pizza. So, oh, hey, White Dragon and Juno. All right. So, have you heard about Dr. Stephen Greer's ET contact? Oh, yeah. I know a lot. I've heard a lot about him. I've seen a lot of his stuff. I'm not sure what more you want me to say about that, but we're very familiar with his work. You are too, Mary. I know you are. I guess you are.
Did he have a show on Netflix, or was that somebody else?
Well,
Is it Gaia?
He's big on Gaia, and he's an emergency room doctor, and that he started having ET experiences. Meditation. And his ET experiences, I think they started in the North Carolina mountains. He's not there anymore. I can't remember where he is now, but he gives a lot of speeches, and he's also the one that does that contact where he gets a group of people. What is it called? That something 5 contact. What is it called?
Yeah, I do know a lot about that. We actually had a small group of people here because somebody who used to run our Starseed group a couple years ago was really into him, and so they did like a small get together at night to try to do like his theory on something, and they, according to them, it didn't work or whatever. But I think there's like a torn audience around him, though. Some people are really into his work and some people aren't.
Right. So what is that called? Susie, you've asked me about that. What's it called? That CE? Is it CE5, CE, whatever, the contact where he brings you? Oh, thank you, Cronzone. The CE5. Yeah, that's what he does. He takes people and he helps them. Everybody kind of does a group meditation and connects to the ETs. I've never done. I'm so connected to the ETs, and I'm just like with them. So I've never felt the need to have to do that. But I am a fan of his work. So yes, I have heard of him. So I guess that answered your question. If you have any more questions about that, go ahead and put it in the chat. So we can, if you have more questions about him. Hey, Kristen K, let's see, what did you mean? What
did you meet me by chance?
Did I meet you by chance? So are you talking about on the spaceship, Chris? What are you talking about? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that one? Well, go ahead and wait for you to put in the chat, and then we're going to move on to the next one, Chris, because if you can clarify that question a little bit more, I appreciate it. Hey, Tina. Wow, that is fantastic. Dr. Gail and Mary, do you know if I am working on the spaceship in any capacity? Tina, let me see, Tina. All right. I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I see her cooking. And the reason I'm laughing is because y'all know my experience with the ET food. And, and so, Tina, you're doing something. I don't know if you're a good cook or not. I hope you are, because I see you cooking on the spaceship. And I'm not a big fan of their food. I mean, they do have simulators where you can create your own food and what you want, but it's still not quite the same. But you have something to do with that, Tina. And
I feel like she would make really good sweet treats.
Yay!
Yeah, make real ice cream.
The real ice cream, because I know y'all heard the story where I went up several times on the hybrid spaceship, and we were celebrating, and they kept serving me this white stuff in a white bowl, and it was terrible.
Bless their hearts, they did not even know.
Yeah, and then I finally asked them what it was, and they told me it was vanilla ice cream, which it was terrible. So I had to bring them vanilla ice cream, real vanilla ice cream, up the next day, so they all tasted it. But anyway, I did a whole video on that. It was hilarious. It was terrible. Anyway, but when I went to Venus, they also had some white food, and that food was good. I was hesitant on tasting that, but it was good. So, anyway, Tina, that's what I see you doing. I see you're in the kitchen cooking, and now their cooking's different than we cook on your own Earth. As I said, they use simulators and all sorts of things, so it is different. But I think you are trying to make you're trying to make the humans happy, because our hybrids, so many different ETs on there, and you're trying to make that, and the humans are the ones that have the biggest taste buds, and we're all the finicky ones, and you're trying to make us happy. You're trying to make the humans happy is what I'm getting.
That makes sense. I was feeling some playfulness or some playful kind of energy with that, and you started laughing, and so that makes sense to me.
Yes. She's got a big one.
She's saying that she does love to cook, and she got an A in home economics.
Ooh. So you didn't break the egg that was supposed to be your baby. Kudos.
Yes. So she's up there cooking for us, making us happy, and we're going for the sweets for sure, as always. Okay. All right. Okay. It's Chris again. Yes, you were talking about how you were meeting people you knew from your site. Yes. Well, the thing is what I was told several weeks ago, that the people that are coming into the chat are all these people that are working with me. The words that I say are not as necessary as what's coming in through my voice, and it's connecting to everybody. And that's how I found out that a lot of you in the chat, they're resonating with me. Most of you are working with us on the spaceship. So I hope that answers your question, Chris. So I guess you're wanting to know what you're doing. Chris, I'm not sure if we've talked about you or what you're doing. Mary, you want to take this one? You get any feeling on that one?
If Chris is working on the spaceship?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's working on the spaceship. That's what she's doing on the spaceship. Are you getting any kind of feel on that?
I'm feeling involvement, but not like a permanent on the ship all the time kind of involvement. It's almost like I see the essence of Chris's energy coming and then going and then coming and then going. So whatever role that is, it's almost like how I would perceive a travel nurse or a messenger or something like that. Someone who kind of comes for a minute and then goes back out and travels a lot and does different things here and there.
Yeah, I have quite a few that are satellite. I have my interplanetary liaison. He has his own thing going on, but he works from information from the spaceship. I also have somebody who does transition, and it's not like they work for the space. They work for the spaceship, but they're satellite people, and they have their own thing going on. And Chris, right. I kind of get that with you, that you have your own fleet of spaceships. and that you're kind of satelliting off of that spaceship. And I'm trying to see what it is that your satellite doing, but you're in charge of a lot of people. I'm getting messenger.
I liked messenger. I think that was one of the things I was sensing.
What did you say? That's what I forgot what you said.
International spy, Chris.
I'm not so sure you're probably right. I think you're right. I think she goes out. I think you're exactly right. You go out and get the information from what's happening everywhere else and bring it back to us. Because the spaceship is the Athena, and it is a military, and it is the medical spaceship. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're the spy.
So Chris would definitely need to be in charge of a lot of people, because that would take a lot of people to be able to be in all of these different spaces and bring that information back.
Right. And you're your own entity doing that. So anyway, yay. Thank you, Chris, for bringing the information to us. So what's next? Hey, Damaris, Dr. Gail, Mary, and Susie. I've been having a lot of water dreams. Am I working with ocean ETs, or is this another connection to water? Oh, yeah, the whales. I just talked to somebody recently about whales. Yeah, you're on a water planet. Mary, you want to take it, or you want me to go on?
There was someone just recently who came, and I don't think he's ever met you, Gail, but he started asking, what about that Dr. Gail who worked here, the one who talks to aliens? And he doesn't believe in spirits or any of that stuff. So I thought he was going to be like one of those. And I was like, well, she moved to Mount Shasta and all that. And he's like, I really want to meet her. I watched one of her shows one time where she was talking about dolphin aliens, and I just really liked it. I thought it was cool. But this is kind of what that reminds me of. And you immediately thought of whales. It's like there's communication happening in the spirit realm, because they have this, I don't think it's called echolocation. I think that's bats. But they have this way of sending out vibrations through the water and communicating with each other throughout the water. And water itself represents the spirit realm or the emotional body. And so probably a lot of what's happening in your dreams is you're in the astral realm sending out messages and communications with other people, or maybe even other aliens, while you're in the spirit realm, while you're able to be in that subconscious space.
Okay. Well, I'm getting a big clear vision on all this now. Damaris.
Go ahead.
She's all the water people. She can change. She has the ability to change from what was that?
A shapeshifter.
She was a shapeshifter, and she is all the water shapeshifters, and she's out there. There's so many places out here on this planet that you are going from place to place to place, and it's almost like you're the water interplanetary or the water liaison or something. But you go from all the water places, all the planets, like I think there's Cetus B, Sirius B, maybe it was Cetus A or B. I can't remember which one is in Sirius, and I think you're going from all the water planets. You're water, but you have a lot to do with all of them. I'm not exactly sure if you're communicating with all of them or you're working for all of them. Somehow or another, you're bringing all the water places together, like Catalina Island. There's 3 off the East Coast, the jellyfish, the man of wars, all that. That you're working with all that. So I hope that helps. And also check out Damaris's channel. She has a YouTube channel also. So check that out. Okay, next. Rainbows and moonbeams. Am I doing anything interesting while I sleep? Love the name. Okay, Mary, you go ahead.
I think that everyone's always doing interesting things while they sleep. That's the point of sleep. But I almost sense that there's interdimensional energy with this one. Like maybe we're traveling through interdimensional space. So if there's ever times when you wake up and you just feel like you're in a dream, or like you're having trouble like moving your physical body as if you're still in some sort of suspended space, it's probably because you've been vomited over that rainbow bridge somewhere into past fourth dimensional space and just been hanging out. And I don't even sense that quite yet you're doing hard, heavy work there. It's almost like you're exploring the space and getting to know the space and getting little messages here and there until the time comes for you to really do some hardcore work there.
Right. That's exactly what I'm getting. She's exploring what she's supposed to do, and she's not quite sure. And that's exactly what I get, exploring. And it's almost like she's enjoying that exploration. Like, I don't want to commit here. I don't want to commit there. I want to commit. Let me go check out this. That's what I get from her. Yeah. I'm not committing to anyone. So anyway, so rainbows and until you commit to somebody. Just kidding. Enjoy it. Explore it all. All right, next. Oh, Rosa Barnes, what am I doing while I sleep? Oh, wow, we got a lot of people want to know what they do while they sleep. Gosh. Okay. All right, Rosa.
I'll let you take this one. It feels more earthy to me, though.
Yeah, I'm not getting much out there with her.
Yeah, this is more earthy and more on the earth plane.
She's working with Mother Earth. Okay. You're working directly with her. And I don't know, I did have a video about Mother Earth, how she looks. She almost looks, to me, she looks like a mermaid that's made out of red clay and it's swimming around in earth. That's what she looks like to me. And you're one of the ones that are swimming around with her. And,
yeah, but almost like I'm almost sensing like the surface of the earth too. So it's not even anything deep like with rocks or the core of the earth, but maybe something that could affect nature itself or the replenishment of nature, giving back to the earth how it grows. So in your waking hours, this might present itself as sustainability, recycling, things like that, cleaning up your personal space and community. So that's ways that you can start trying to tie your dream world to your reality and see how that begins to shift into your everyday life.
Right, but she's in collaboration with Mother Earth. She goes down there and talks to her and brings that information back up. So, yeah, Rosa, you got an important job there. All right, next, Susie, taking on her off her glasses.
So serious. Got your serious face on.
Rosa had another comment. I dreamed of a reptilian the other night. What am I doing in my dreams?
Well, the reptilians are the ones that are probably well, all of us have a little reptilian in it because they are our flight and fight. So there might be something part of that is what I'm getting. Something that you're struggling with, Rosa. Are you struggling with something that's creating that flight or fight coming out of you? Well, Mary, you go ahead. What do you see?
So in connection to the earth, they might seem connected, but they're also disconnected at the same time. Like there's two different roles there. So the reptilian itself, I feel like, is coming forth, like you said, the fight or flight, to show you some sort of shadow thing, something that you're struggling with, possibly within your divine feminine nature, something that you held as sacred at one point that might have been taken from you, or something that you're fearful of, or something where you don't feel honored in your space. And this is coming forward to kind of help give that a voice and help you look at that, because it's probably something you haven't been looking at. It's something you've probably been ignoring or pushing down and away from. And so when we do allow ourselves to look at that, that's going to start presenting itself more, and we're going to start coming into more depth and awareness of what we're actually doing on the earth itself and your connection to Mother Earth also.
Yeah. Something you're struggling with, Rosa. I think you can share it with us if you want to, but I feel like that's what you're doing. Okay. Great, Mary.
Okay.
All right, next.
Next question. It's a very important question. Are you ready?
Is it from you?
No.
Oh, what's the cat's name?
Carmela, this is Sam.
Sam.
I think we've got Gandalf over here somewhere. You can't see him, he's off camera, but I have Severus Snape, and I have Sam, and we have Gandalf the Grey, and we had a Bilbo Baggins, and I had a Frodo once, but that was a long time ago. So we have lots of Lord of the Rings, and then one Harry Potter cat. This one's Sam.
That was an important question. Okay.
No, thank you. Appreciate the acknowledgement.
Messages by Michelle. I was watching a Shark Week weeks ago, and when they did close up, wait a minute.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Watching Shark Week a few weeks ago, and when they did close up the shark skin, I got flashbacks. Have you heard of ETs with shark-like skin, and what is their personality like? Yes. There are so many different ETs out there. There are millions. And even when we're associating with, like say, the Pleiades or Arcturus, there's more than one species on those stars and planets that we associate. Exactly what they look like, that's what planet they're from. It's just like them coming to Earth and saying everything on Earth looks like a dog. Like humans look like a dog. So there's so many different kinds out there. But yes, shark skin, I mean, they usually are either the reptilians. Well, that would be probably the reptilian classification would be with the ones that have the shark skins. But it could be also related to just all the water species too. Take it, Mary.
It could be anything. I'd have to have the context of the dream, I think,
Right.
Or the flashback, I guess, and the vision to fully interpret that. But it's also highly possible you were a shark in a past life. It's highly possible that you were a shark hunter in a past life, and that's why you got the flashback when they were looking inside the skin. You may have experienced in past lives where you were gutting sharks and things like that. So there's a lot to that.
There's a lot.
Honestly.
Yeah, that would be like a whole hour to explore. Okay. Next. Okay. Carmela. Hi, Mary and Dr. Gail. I know I'm a novice with Judy Latham. We'd love to know if I can help. What's going on, Mary? Is the cat Sam?
No, I'm just moving because my phone was starting to break up a little bit. It's really cloudy, so I'm moving closer to the.
She's in her backyard. That's where she's at, and Wednesdays are her day to write her book. So anyway, she needed a break. That's right. Okay, so let's see. We'd love to know if I can help. Well, Carmela, I think you probably are helping already. You're probably helping in your dream state. And being a novice at it, you usually get a little piece at a time. You might not be ready to absorb all the information they have on what you're doing, but you're doing stuff. You're doing stuff while you are asleep. So just being awakened. We all want the information right away, but it has to come to us at a little piece of time because it's too overwhelming when it will bombard us. All right, Mary.
I think that Carmela's doing a lot in her sleep, like you said, but I also think that she has very specific gifts that could help things in her community, even if it's subtle, like even if it's sending out subtle waves of energy that she doesn't realize that she's doing. So for some reason, and I don't even know how to interpret this, but I'm just picking up like small images of something cozy, something warm, things like that.
Small animals. Well, I see small animals. And it ain't even smaller than cats is what I see. Small, like, this is weird. I'm seeing hamsters.
I think Carmela does have a cat.
I'm seeing her working with even smaller animals than cats.
Hamsters?
Like I know this is weird. I see hamsters. Correct.
You have to go work with rodents, Carmela.
Well, that's actually what I see her working with. Small animals. Anyway, That's a weird vision. Okay, Carmel, I hope that helps. But it looks
So
like,
do rabbits count?
yeah, rabbits would be, yeah,
I'm feeling like rabbits. Maybe rabbits have something to do with something.
yeah. Okay, Carmela, gave me a little laugh there. All right, seeing three lights above my house for a year or so when I go out with the dog. Same time every night. Do they hear me asking, "How are you doing?" You can take this, Mary. This is a fun one.
It is a fun one. I do feel like something is definitely there that can hear you and is probably, I almost feel like a playful energy with it. So it's almost like it's communicating back with you in some ways, even if you don't realize, or even the lights themselves, they might turn on specifically when they know that you can see it. So they're communicating back with you, and it is something playful and kind of fun. I'm not picking up anything super heavy or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Let me show you what the ETs gave me this week for finishing our mission. They have left me things. That's why you need to look at what. Let me see. All right. They left me at my front door an obsidian.
Wow.
And
At your
here's
front door?
huh?
At your front door?
Yeah, right beside my front door. They left it at the front door, and on the mountain they had these two stones for me to pick up. A crow came and told me that they were mine. I thought they were for somebody else's. Oh, there you go. These two were up there for me, right sitting next to it. I was the only one on the mountain, and these two were sitting on the picnic table for me. And I thought, oh, these are for somebody else. And the crow came by going, "It's yours, it's yours, it's yours." So the ETs gave me these for our mission that we just completed. Thank you. That is my favorite one, is the obsidian that was right at my door. You know,
Nice.
that's kind of the signs that you look for, seascape. So normally I would have passed that up going, somebody else, how did that get right there at my front door? That kind of thing. So take a look at those things that are going on around you. They're probably leaving you some little gifts. Okay. Next. Linda Elaine, sitting on my front porch the other day, I was drawn to a large cloud. Watched it for 20 minutes and it didn't move. Suddenly the face of an owl appeared in it. Was this a message? All right, Mary.
That one, I very specifically felt like it was some sort of guide trying to come and communicate with you, maybe even an ancestor guide. Owls usually represent wisdom and things like that, and precision, because if you think of an owl, they hunt very, very small prey when it's completely pitch black dark outside, but they're able to hone in on that very specific thing and swoop in and accurately grab it. So whatever message that was trying to give you through the image of an owl, I felt like it was some sort of guide or possibly ancestor, just reminding you of your ancient wisdom, reminding you of your ancient abilities and your skills, and your capabilities to accomplish your goals and whatever it is you're looking into. So it's highly possible that you have a lot of things on your plate right now that you need to kind of hone in on one thing that really utilizes your abilities and your gifts and your specific skills, and that will take you the farthest with whatever it is you're trying to do.
Oh, that was good. I don't have anything else to add to that. All right, next. Hey, Zeta, I would like to know if I was doing work on those days where the spaceships. Oh, you want to know if you're on the spaceship when it was on Mount Shasta, because I had several dreams, but I would like confirmation. Thank you. Yes, Zeta, yes, you're working on the spaceship. As I said, most of you here in the chat have been working on the spaceship. This is just employees on the spaceship. I have 800,000. So you can imagine how many of y'all might be in that 800,000. And the medical side can go up to holding 1 million. So yes, there's room for everybody to work up there, and I think all of you are. So the answer is yes, Zeta.
I'm going to turn my camera off for like 2 seconds, but I'll be back.
Okay.
I'm not getting out. I'm just turning my camera off for a second.
Okay.
I did it again. I didn't plug my phone in again. Last time I had to run downstairs.
I know these lives. I was going to say, yeah, these lives always drain the battery quite quickly.
I'm the worst. I apologize, but like 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay. All
She
right.
wants a lot of your show to be prepared.
Exactly. So, okay. I guess we could say the answer is yes. So I guess we can move on to the next one. Oh, hey, hey, oh, this is Priscilla. Priscilla would like to know what I'm up to at night. All right, Priscilla. What are you up to at night? All right, it's just let me connect here for a second.
She has something in angel realms.
Priscilla's way up there working. You're back, Mary.
Yeah. I'm trying to be back. Yes. I was still listening, but I was picking up something in the angel realms for this person.
Yeah. I think you might be on the transition team, Priscilla. Oh, gosh.
What's
Your
the
husband.
transition team?
Yeah. The transition team is the team that comes in to let you decide, do you want to transition? Do you want to keep this body? Or do you want a new body? It's like, on Earth, we don't have those choices, but up on the spaceship, you have a whole team, or it's almost like a counseling session on what you want to do. It'd be nice if we had that on Earth, but we do have that on the spaceship where somebody comes and talks to you about what you want to do.
I had that teaching last month. I had a guide come to me, connect me with Mount Shasta, and we were doing work on guiding people through the transitional space. Mm-hmm. I didn't put it together with that term with the transition team, but yeah, I did that for a month. So maybe that's where we know each other, Priscilla.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, you're a big part of that transition team, is what I see. And that transition team is a team of about 1,000 people. So it's a big team. As I said, that's what they do. They go in and talk to us. And Priscilla, I have and I know this is off track, but I've got your husband here with me. I'm going to cry. He loves you so much. Oh, the emotions. He has a strong presence. And he feels like he's extremely connected to this work. Ooh. Ooh. We're going to have to talk about it later, Priscilla. Just contact me, because this is so emotional. You could tell. He's very emotional. He's very proud of you. He likes what you're doing. Anyway, that's basically, he just want to give that message. Y'all gonna have to excuse me for a minute. Take it, Mary.
Turn your camera off.
You want to answer the next question, Mary?
Sure, yeah. And Priscilla, if there's anything else you want to say in there real quick, that's fine, and we can readdress when Gail comes back.
Okay.
Spirit Watcher Suzanne, off in the dream state. Hold on, let me connect in with you.
Oh, sorry, guys.
I'm actually seeing.
That's very emotional.
And I told them to, type back in the group, in the chat, if they had anything else they wanted to say about that. But Spirit Watcher Suzanne wants to know what they're doing in their dream state. And when I tapped into that, I saw like this muscly ET holding something that to me appeared to be round like a shield. So do we have warrior ETs out here on our spaceship?
Yes, definitely. We have the military. I mean, we've got White Dragon in here, and he's like a 5-star general who's in charge of it. And I have the guy that is, his name is Razan, that is like the next level down, that's in charge of the military for me. And I have recently had, before I knew what I was doing, my new job, I had a military guy show up as one of my guides. Super strong energy that I've never experienced before. And now I know why, because my new duties is in charge of medical and military. And that's why he's here. So, yes.
And I feel like it's some sort of protector type of, so not like an offensive military, although that might be part of it, but it's more defensive and protecting of certain sacred sites and things like that.
Right. I feel she's kind of connected to the military too.
Mm-hmm. An ET architect.
Could be. I see her. I actually see her in a military uniform. She's had a lifetime as the military. In fact, she's probably working for White Dragon. So anyway, yeah, that's what I get, is that some connection to the military. So, okay, that's it.
Well, Patricia was saying that she's seeing buildings and structures, and she's always trying to figure out something. So I jokingly said the ET architect.
He could be the ET architect.
But
well, you know, over there in the mountain in Mount Shasta, the Lemurians are always building. They have quite a few buildings, and they have gardens and things like that.
Yeah.
And so she could be doing very much doing that kind of stuff. And that's inner world work.
Inner world, that's another word, because I was coming to something that almost seemed inside of something else, as if there were inner mazes or inner workings of something, of the mountain or of something that's inside that we're working through and navigating and figuring out and building. And
right.
So an important job for sure.
It is. And I think you're the one that goes in and kind of design. Well, you said architect, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see her. She goes in and designs it, tells them where it goes. So that would make sense. All right. Inner world work.
Getting back to Spirit Watcher Suzanne, she said, I feel I watch over people and observe during my dreams, but never see myself. And I served in the armed forces.
Wow. Yeah, so that was pretty right on. So your outer life kind of mirrored what you're doing inwardly as well.
Right. What was that comment one more time?
Read it again.
Well, can you highlight it?
Okay. I was just reading it. I'm not even in that section on my computer. Wait a second. Okay.
Oh, you served in the armed forces. Okay. Well, then that makes sense. Oh, but you see you watching, yeah. That would make sense. You can't see yourself. You're watching everything else. Because there's a lot of times people see just their hands and they're going, why did I have blue hands? Or why did I, I get that a lot. And that is because you're observing, you're not seeing yourself.
So can I ask the last question of the day?
Yes.
Yes.
The most important question of the day.
You deserve it.
Shucks.
Well, you always ask questions that just go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can answer that. So go ahead. I'm ready.
So other than what you guys have told me, do you see me doing anything else?
Oh, I don't want to talk about what I see you doing.
Okay, don't worry about it. You can tell me off screen.
I'm trying to steal you from Mary.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'll take the highest bidder here.
Well, the thing is right now you're on the hybrid spaceship, and you have like just a few rooms to work on. but I'm trying to recruit you over, and you're going to have 100 rooms to work on. And you're just
You
like,
know what? I'm going to send you to Australia because I feel like there's work for you to do there.
Send me down under.
That, Gail.
I've been trying to recruit Clarice too, who was my assistant. And Clarice was my assistant over there, and she's helped Mary. She's been training her on stuff, and she's an assistant. And my next level medical person is supposed to be another surgeon, but Clarice and I work so well together. I want her to take that job, and it means, it's going from a little small spaceship, small operating rooms to 100 operating rooms. Well, it wouldn't be more of that. Should be the next step for me to all these people, and she's hetating on that also. So, so are you, Susan?
No, actually, in all reality, I am tracking your energy field like pretty far around the world. So if you were working where I am for so long, it might be because that was the training you needed. And then you're about to go do something else that's bigger that I can't necessarily perceive because it's not my path to perceive it. So if Gail had something else to do, then that might be what I'm seeing, because I am seeing you kind of go around the world. I said Australia just because I'm not really good with geography, but I feel like if you go halfway around the globe, that might be where you're at. I don't know. Maybe halfway around the globe is out in Mount Shasta.
Well, actually, I'm in charge of North and South America now. So it is a big job.
Learn Spanish.
I am. I'm trying to learn
change
Spanish.
The world.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's time for us to go. We all really enjoyed you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, my subscribers and my new subscribers. Thank you. And I hope y'all have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.